guys? Troy here with Cape Ann Conversations, and I've got an absolute local staple with us today. We're talking holiday pops. That season's coming up. We've got Cape Ann Symphony here with me today. I've got Yoichi and I've got Tom. I'm going to let you both sort of make introductions. Yoichi, why don't we go to you first as the conductor, and then we'll pop
Okay.
over to Tom.
Okay, so I'm Yoichi Udagawa. I'm the conductor of the Cape Ann Symphony. I've been there now, unbelievably, 25 years. It's been an amazing privilege, and we give concerts throughout the year, and we so far have started out hopefully a sold out season, and we're thrilled to have a chance to talk with you, Troy, about our orchestra.
Yeah, and I've been to the symphony. I've been to this holiday pops in Manchester by the Sea. It also takes part in Ipswich, and it's absolutely fantastic. It really like rings in the season because of its time right after Thanksgiving. You can really turn on the holidays. I love it. Tom, give a little bit of history to your tenure here, because I think you've been around the symphony for a while in a couple different roles.
Um, Thanks, Troy. I've been on the board of the symphony for 16 years. This is my 16th year, 16th season. I was recruited to the symphony by our previous um, business manager, Dave Benjamin, who taught Ryan, my son, saxophone when he was the music director at O'Malley. And when we returned from DC in 2009, Benji hit me up and said, "Hey, why don't you be on the board of the symphony?" And I said, "Why not?" So here I'm still here.
Yeah, I actually a former saxophone player myself. My wife was a saxophone player, so I
Wow.
love a good saxophone when I can get one, even if it's in a normal band like like a Bob Dylan or like a normal like rock band or something. When I get the saxophone, ooh, I really love that. It's special to me. So the symphony has a long history though. This is the 74th year.
That's correct.
We've got the 75th big anniversary we'll talk a little bit more about. But how did this get started? Where was the original point of this? Who started this?
There was a couple, Sam and Helen Gordon, who were both musicians in their own right, and they recruited several of their friends to put together, to play together, and then organize a symphony. And the tagline at the time was, "The music you love, played by the people you know." And that was in 1952. The first concert of the Cape Ann Symphony was in July 1952. So so uh, you are correct. This is our 74 season next year, starting in July, because we're in a July to June fiscal year. That will be our 75th season, our gala season. We're looking forward to doing that for all of our friends and patrons.
And has the symphony? I know it's called the Cape Ann Symphony. Has it morphed into more than Cape Ann at this point? Like from a players and a production standpoint. I mean, who's in this symphony and how has that progressed?
It started out as amateurs and volunteers, but and when I was relating before, when Ann and I left to go down to DC in 1993, when we left Cape Ann, it was a combination of professional and amateur musicians. But when we returned in 2009, by that time it had been an all-professional orchestra for some time, and the players are all professional musicians and either make their living by performing or teaching or some music related occupation. And the ensemble varies from concert to concert depending on the needs of the program. For example, in September, we had a very big program. Gustav Holst's The Planets and Musa Gursi's Pictures at an Exhibition. We had 65 players. The orchestra filled the entire stage. The holiday pops, March, May, the ensembles will be of different sizes and tailored to fit the needs of the particular program that we're offering that day.
So, Yoichi, can you tell us a little bit about some of the recent concerts that you have done? Like maybe the past year.
Let's see. Well, I mean, the one that we just did in September that Tom was just talking about, that was a really a great concert. And I might just add that the level of musicians who are playing in the Cape Ann Symphony today is just extraordinary. We have a lot of um, up and coming young professionals who are just starting out their careers playing in the orchestra. Some of them are based on Cape Ann. Some of them come from the Boston area, where just this whole kind of northeastern area, the greater area that we live in, we have just an enormous amount of talent. And of course, everybody knows the Boston Pops and Boston Symphony, right? So um, this area is just full of unbelievable musicians. So the program that we did, as Tom was talking about, was the first piece we did is by Gustav Holst, "The Planets," which is a description, a kind of the composer Holst was interested in putting into music the astrological characters. He was not particularly into astrology, but he was kind of inspired by the stories of various characteristics that each of the planets had, and he set that to music. It's a tour de force piece, and we had members of the Cape Ann Symphony chorus join us as well, directed by Brittany Betts. And they're going to be featured at the Holiday Pops concerts that are coming up. And then the other piece that we did, Mussorgsky's Pictures at an Exhibition, it was arranged, it was originally written for piano, but it was arranged for full orchestra by Maurice Ravel. And those of you who don't know that name, Ravel wrote this very famous piece called Bolero, um, that was used that's used all over the place. And those two super amazing composers, in a sense, collaborated to put that work together. Last season, we had Lucy Lynn, violinist, in the Boston Symphony, come play the Brahms Violin Concerto. We've just done a whole bunch of this year, and then this year, just looking ahead, if you don't mind,
Yeah.
we're doing a symphony by Mendelssohn, his Italian symphony. It's a very energetic and sunny piece, and then we're going to do this guitar concerto by the Spanish composer Joachim Rodrigo, with this guitarist Grisha Goryachev, who is just an amazing virtuoso. Now it's a little bit early in the morning, and my singing voice is not very good, but you'll know this. You'll know some of this music. The second movement is very romantic. It goes da da dum, da 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 dum, da da dum, da 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 da. It's been used in all kinds of movies, commercials, and things like
Are you
that.
talking about the Italian
So
symphony?
yeah, no, this is the Rodrigo,
Oh, the Rodrigo.
yeah, guitar concerto.
But
And the,
Um,
and those will be coming up in March and May of
March
next
and
year.
May,
and
right?
and
And we have
and the Italian symphony was the music underlying the movie Breaking Away,
Okay.
yeah,
which is a fan favorite. So
So those are in March and May. You just talked about the one we just did in September. These are
yeah,
things that the Cape Ann Symphony puts on regularly every year. These are, once a quarter type events, including
that's correct.
the holiday pops again here in November. Let's let's do a heavy sell on this. What's that? So tell us about the holiday pops.
uh,
So this is going to be in November 29th. It starts. It's at two locations at the Ipswich High School. It's also transfers from the Ipswich High School at 2 o'clock to the Manchester by the Sea High School at 7:30 p.m. on the 29th.
Hmm.
And then we also have it the next day, November 30th at 2 p.m. at the Manchester by the Sea High School as well.
That's correct.
it
And Tom, you go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead,
I
Tom.
mean
Sorry.
it's an eclectic holiday presentation with selections from the Nutcracker and Leroy Anderson's melody medley, um, and some Hanukkah music in there, and the Cape Ann Symphony Chorus in the after intermission, and we have an audience sing along. You, Troy, you've been, and you know what it's like, and it's a great time for the family.
Yeah, it really is an all family event, and it's incredibly affordable. I mean, you're talking about right here in our backyard in Cape Ann. It goes anywhere from $5 to $55, depending on if you're a kid in school to a senior to an adult. So it's incredibly affordable, and there's parking, which is incredible itself. I mean, you get to go see this like really famous symphony for the price it would cost for you to park in Boston. You know,
Exactly,
it's a
exactly.
no-brainer.
And our patrons, our patrons tell us the same thing. You know, why am I going to Boston when you know, I've got this wonderful quality, this cultural gem right here in my backyard, and the prices are reasonable and there's parking. So,
And
um,
you're right there. I mean, you feel it.
Yeah.
There's really no amplification of this. If you haven't been in the Manchester by the Sea auditorium, I mean, you're effectively can touch the symphony. You know, it's that
Yeah,
close.
there's nothing like live performance, and when you get a chance to see an orchestra right up front, it's nothing like a recording, right? The kind of the visceral experience of being there
and
is very exciting, and Brittany Betts, who's our chorus director, does an amazing job of preparing the singers, and we have a lot of fun at our concerts too. That's one thing I want to stress is that I think there are a lot of, especially people who are not familiar with classical music or symphonies, they think it's all very, oh, I got to be very uptight and I can't enjoy myself, and that it's all very serious and it'll be boring. We have a lot of fun. We want people to come in and leave like for the holiday pops. We want them to come in and when they leave, they're ready for the season. They're ready to have a good time, full of spend time with your families, have a good laugh, all that stuff. It really is a fun concert.
Yeah, and
and
get dressed up for it. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
put
Hmm.
on the collared shirt and go enjoy it. It really does feel like that. It's good stuff.
And
Oh, good, good, good.
Maestro,
Yeah.
one of the attractions of the symphony, and one of the reasons that we get uh, musicians wanting to come and play with the symphony, and they don't have to because they're all, they're all essentially independent players, is Yuichi takes very good care of them, and they want to come and play for him and with him. And Yuichi also um, entertains the audience. He will lead the audience through, if there's a complicated piece, he will lead them through um, certain sections and have the orchestra play cues so that they can recognize it when the piece is being played about what's going on. Um, and a lot of times he'll just turn around and smile at the audience and get them to laugh.
You're
So,
right, exactly. There
so
is such an iconic part in a holiday song. The name of the song is gonna escape me, but that time when you have the wood blocks and they're
Oh
a
yes,
sleigh
yes,
ride.
yes,
sleigh
yes,
ride, yes.
yes. Sleigh ride, sleigh ride.
That's
So
the
sleigh
encore.
ride is Leroy Anderson wrote it. It's supposed to describe the sleigh ride, and everybody knows it. It dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun 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 dun, right? And Leroy Anderson, the little wood thing, it's supposed to be a whip, like the driver is going
Yeah.
pop, and he's written it right in certain places in the piece, and we like to goof around and I get the audience to clap along where that whip is.
You get that perfect little pause right before just like it's so that just it's holidays. It
Good.
really is.
It is, and that's a perfectly written piece by, really, if you think about it, a local composer, Leroy Anderson. I often like to say he's the most famous composer that people. I mean, they know, everybody knows his music, but they don't necessarily know his name, right? I mean, you hear that piece millions of times over the holidays, right?
At
Everybody
least.
knows it.
Everybody does.
And he was born in Cambridge. Yeah,
No. That's
yeah,
incredible.
yeah.
Local. I love that.
Local, absolutely.
Okay, so this will be out in time, so everybody needs to go attend this one. Give me a little bit about the 75th year. This is this is a big deal for any organization to stay together as a not-for-profit for 75 years. It just takes number one, a quality product. A quality product is going to keep moving you guys along.
Mm.
But this is a big deal. How can this community support you? I guess it's, obviously we're coming out to this holiday pops, coming out in March, coming out in May,
Mm.
September, buying tickets. But is there other stuff that this community can do? Do you need more symphony members? Do you need more donations? How else does this whole thing work?
That's my aspect. We were on a roll for 3 or 4 years before the pandemic. We had very robust donations. We had very robust attendance. The pandemic hit us pretty hard, but there was a group of us on the board who were bound and determined that we were not going to let the pandemic take the symphony down. And I was among that group. Um, and we managed to survive. We managed to survive with assistance from the federal government through grants and loans. But it's taken a while for us to get back. Our box office is back. We sold out every concert last year, so our box office is very robust. What has fallen away, and I think there's a little bit of donations fatigue, is our normal donations repertoire, which artistic sponsors, folks can sponsor particular players or particular sections of music, or they can sponsor Maestro, business donations, concert sponsors, grants. A lot of that has fallen away because recently, because a lot of people in these times are looking for a lot of help. Um, and, you know, um, we would ask the business community, which this podcast is going to be targeted at, and the Cape Ann Chamber, to assist us in getting through this particular season where we're having some challenges, but then also to help support us for our 75th. It's really important. Um, it would be a shame if we had to stop after our 75th season. We don't want to. Uh, but, fiscal reality is fiscal reality. We have to look it in the eye and see what we can do to make sure that the wolf is not or stays pretty much far away from the door. Um, so I would ask all the businesses out there, all the members of the chamber who are um, listening to this or seeing this podcast, to think about supporting us because we're a unique cultural gem, and it's my firm opinion that we're kind of irreplaceable. If we go away, there'll be nothing like us to come back. Um, so that's my
And so
pitch.
how can they get engaged? Are there fundraising events? Are there sponsorships and programs? What are the like key things that if somebody was like, you know what, I'll do my part, what would they do?
Uh, well, they would call me, or I can give you my phone number and my email, um, or contact the office, info at capeannsymphony.org via email, and get engaged. Again, we have more than a few ways to show financial support. Again, artistic sponsorships, um, which uh, several $1,000s. Business donations, anything that's less than 2,500 is a business donation. Concert sponsors, you can sponsor a concert for 5,000. One of our principal sponsors, Cape Ann Savings, sponsors the holiday pops every year, and does that twice for $10,000. And shout out to Cape Ann Savings. They've been our banker, and they've been our supporter of longstanding, very longstanding, predates me. Um, and then, um, uh, our individual patrons came through last year, but we could always use more. We did in 2023, as I was mentioning, Troy, we did an outdoor concert at Stage Fort Park in conjunction with the Gloucester 400th. And we raised all the money, all the funds for that ourselves. Um, and it cost about $75,000 to put that on. We had support from the city, we had support from the Mass Cultural Council, we had support from many of the organizations in the city and around Cape Ann. We'd like to do that again, but between now and next summer when we would like to do it, we have the planning template, we just don't have time to raise the funds because We'd like to do the outdoor concert to kick off both our 75th season and also to celebrate America's 250th. So if anyone out there is willing to write us a check for $75,000, we'd be happy to put that
There you go. There's the ask for the day, or at least half of it, right?
on.
And we'll raise the other half. You match it.
Yeah, see, there you go. Yes, I'm sure there's some. We're going to try to put a development campaign together for the 75th and a committee, and we'll see what we can do. We'd like to retire our debt. We took on some debt from the federal government through a loan. We'd like to retire that. We'd like to set us up and increase our investment account so we can have some stream of income going forward into the future. And if anyone is out there who can help us with their time, their talent, and their treasure, we could use volunteers. We could use folks on the board to help us out. Um, and this is really a collective community effort. We're very much a community institution.
Is there a world where, say, you wanted to have some symphony members play your wedding, where they could reach out to the symphony and they could hire, you could put together a small group of people from your draw of, maybe hundreds of people that and say, yeah, I'll put together a 5-person, you know,
Absolutely,
instrument.
absolutely. I mean, if people are interested in that all that, just contact, go to our website and contact our manager, and he'll put you in touch with
Yeah,
somebody.
Earl Powers is the business manager,
Mhm.
um, and he's also our principal horn, an excellent horn player. So,
That's great. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I just see that being like another way to raise money, to make money, if those players can get
uh,
paid to do their event, and
Yes.
and you can
Hmm.
put money in the coffers of the Cape Ann Symphony and their
Absolutely.
smaller
Hmm.
events, and there's other galas going on
Hmm.
in the holiday time that people could play for, not just weddings, but trying to open up the minds of the listeners here to try to figure out how they can find ways
all
to use
contributions gratefully accepted. And as the old
Yes.
Monsignor used to say, green in any denomination is a color most pleasing to the Lord.
it. You know what would be a really good one? This I don't know if this is possible. I'm gonna plant a seed here and
Uh,
see if the stars align. Crane Estate does concerts all summer, and I mean, those can be like cover bands and other things. But you guys don't
hmm
play there, right? But
No,
that could be a good.
again, the outdoor concert we did. I mean, the symphony orchestra is at least 50 folks and can go up to 65 or 70. And we need for an outdoor concert, we need risers and a platform and sound
Yeah,
and all that. And most of the most of the 75K, 42,000 of that, like over 50% of that was for just the infrastructure to put that on.
yeah,
So um, now smaller ensembles, sure, but a big symphony orchestra takes a lot.
yeah.
Takes a lot.
Yeah, symphony orchestras were not meant to play outdoors, really. So
Yeah,
you really have to have the sound system to pump out to. You have to microphone it. You have to mic it essentially. I mean, even rock bands too, right? I mean, if there's a 3 or 4 or 5 players, they have to have mics and they have speakers for each of the instruments. And then you got to multiply that by 55 players, right? So
right.
that's where
It's
uh, uh,
complicated.
playing outdoors, that's where it gets very expensive. And the other thing too, of course, is the weather. Which whenever we do outdoor concerts and when we've done them, that is always a stress point,
We
right, Tom? But
we
it's
we
worked
lucked.
out.
Yeah, in 2023 we lucked out. We
Yeah,
originally
yeah.
wanted Saturday at Stage Fort Park, but a couple had booked Stage Fort Park, the band shell there for their wedding. Okay, so we had to move to Friday. Friday was gorgeous. It was warm. It wasn't too warm. It was got a little cool at night. The moon came out. It was beautiful.
Saturday.
Rained all day.
Those poor people, they're going to listen to this. They're going to be like, damn them.
So, but we lucked out. But it's a crapshoot. You have
Yeah,
to, yeah.
and that's a lot to organize just to have a rain delay.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. Oh, we've done a lot of outdoor concerts over the years, and it is always, you start looking at the weather a week away, and you go, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's gonna rain. It's not gonna rain. It's gonna rain. It's not gonna rain.
But we had great cooperation from the city. They, but we'd like to do it again. It's just a matter. It's just a question of whether it's feasible or not.
Right. Right. Okay. Well, both of you, I appreciate you coming on here. First off, telling us the story, putting on these concerts. They are incredible. I mean, it's a no-brainer for people to come out here. I hope everybody takes a shot at going on capeandsymphony.org.
Yeah.
That's where you can buy your tickets. You can see the upcoming events beyond this holiday season in March and May and September. And yeah, hopefully we'll see everybody there.
And we
Yes.
still have discounted subscriptions available for the holiday pops March and May, for $150 for adults and $135 for seniors. Um, Students are always $20. Children under 12 are always $5. So, but we still have 3 concert subscriptions available. If you didn't come to September and you haven't bought your tickets for Holiday Pops yet, please consider buying a subscription. You won't regret it.
There you go. And this is the thing, like people talk about we're losing some of the arts. We're losing some of the support. We're losing the school's commitment to band class. This is the type of thing that like is the root of it. You take your kid to this concert and they have a great time and they see somebody playing the saxophone and they get inspired to do it.
Mhm.
And then they go
Mhm.
find a band and they go, you know what I mean? Like,
And if you're unlucky, they want to play the drums.
my son plays percussion. Shout out to Graham, my son.
Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of percussion at the holiday pops, and you're right, though. I mean, I think that many of us who are musicians as adults, our parents took us to a concert, or we started an instrument in high school, or something like that, and it leads to a love affair with music. And regardless of whether you turn out to be, you end up being a professional musician or not. I mean, all of us, right? Music is the
Life.
soundtrack of our lives. How
Yeah.
can we live without music?
Yeah. And it's just being a
Right.
well-rounded person too.
Yes.
Just go
Hmm.
and enjoy it
Hmm.
and yeah.
Well,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Tom and Yoichi, I appreciate you both coming on here. I appreciate you telling your story. I'll see you, at the concert myself and
you'll see me too.
yeah. Thank you.
Troy, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank,
Yeah.
thank you, and thank you to the chamber.